It's the mighty Grimlock. That's what we need around here. More rampaging reptiles. Or cute ones like me. Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. And we're kicking off this month for Dinobot month by taking a look at the Power of the Primes version of Grimlock. Grimlock, of course, is the leader of the Dinobots, and was definitely one of the more popular characters back in the Generation 1 line. And a lot of that can probably stem from his appearances in the Generation 1 cartoon, where he was presented as something of a lovable buffoon character, with a bit of a rebellious streak. The Dinobots were, of course, near indestructible in terms of how the Transformers could operate. As, let's face it, we even saw in the animated feature that one of them took a massive blow from Devastator and they were still able to function. So the Dinobots are certainly tough customers to deal with. And of course, this is one of the later versions of Grimlock. He's got a new version due out this year. That'll be in the core class size, so it'll be considerably smaller than this one. But at any rate, this one is definitely inspired from the Generation 1 toy look. There was a second version of this toy released as a gift box set through Hasbro, which painted him up to be more in line with his appearance in the cartoon, and also to take a little bit of the look as to how he appeared in the Machinima-produced animated series at that time. Since in the latter part of that series, it did feature the Dinobots and their combined form, Volcanicus. And of course, at the end of the month, we will show off Volcanicus in preparation for his upcoming new version in the Legacy Evolution line. Alright, we're going to take a look at his accessories, because as you'll notice, he has considerably less accessories than his original toy did. So the original one famously had a sword and 2 guns. But this one is kind of minimalistic. He comes with 2 of these feet, which of course will be used for Volcanicus. And these are kind of similar to they're similar in style to many of the other feet that were made for the Power of the Primes line, but they're not exactly the same, because each one of them would have different styled feet, but they have the same premise. The fact that they do have this ratcheting piece here, so it'll give the combiner some ankle articulation. And of course it has a hole in here for one of the Enigmas or a Prime Master. Those were figures that were featured heavily in the Power of the Primes line. They were little tiny figures that could be plugged in here, and they would unlock special powers for whomever was wielding them. They could either be added in here, or on some of the bigger toys, they had a dedicated spot hidden on them where you could add one. I haven't reviewed any of them yet, but I do have all of them, so maybe sometime this year I'll see if I can work that into the schedule. If that's something that any of you would definitely like to see, leave a shout out in the comments. And of course he came with 2 of them, so that's the other one here on his other arm. And of course, Grimlock being a Voyager class figure, so as I dropped it, he came with this. This is known as the Dinobot Enigma. And of course, by him having the Dinobot Enigma, this gives them the power to merge and form Volcanicus. And as we can demonstrate here with one of the feet, it just plugs in right here. Now, unlike many of them, this one's kind of loose, so at least on my sample, it's kind of on the loose side. Nope, there we go, we got it in all the way. So there we go, now it's in good and tight. Of course, to get it out, you just come here to the back and you would press on this the little odd colored piece to push it through. And then you can easily grab the protrusions up here at the top, and there we go. Work it right out. Very nice. Now let's take a look at Grimlock's articulation and see what sort of he had. His head can be turned from side to side. It is on a small ball joint, so it will look up and down. You can rotate his arms at the shoulder 90 degrees. Well, you can turn it around all the way, but you do have to watch, because it can catch here on his wing pieces, as they're referred to. You can bend his arm at the elbow 90 degrees. That's what I was trying to say earlier. And he does have a swivel at the bicep. So Grimlock has G.I. Joe style battle grip. You can twist him at his hips. So Grimlock does have some dance moves going for him, regardless of what he might think. Oh yeah, and you can raise his arms up about so far. You can spread his legs apart into a full splits. He does have a good thigh cut going for him. You can raise his leg at the hip 90 degrees, and you can bend his leg at the knee 90 degrees. So all in all, Grimlock here does have some great range of motion. Alright, let's transform Grimlock into his famed alternate mode. Of course, we got to straighten his arms out to get it started. And then also, we will fold his hands inside like so. Make sure they go in all the way. And we're turning him around to his backside here. We're going to fold down these bits here to start forming the dinosaur tail. And then you will bring his legs together. As you can see, there's a couple of notches here on the left leg, and they should line up with a couple of holes here on his right leg. Get those all lined up. Then we'll come here to his chest. And we're going to separate the front end of it. And then fold it downwards and reattach it. Got to keep his waist straight for that, because otherwise this piece here will catch on everything. Once that's down, then we'll come down here to his legs, and you're going to bend them back, or the robot's legs, you'll bend them backwards a bit, so that way you can adjust these legs here. They do fold outwards a bit, so do tend to adjust them so they're at the spacing areas that you want them to be. Then you'll come up here and fold the wings inward to form the chest, and then bring down the head. And then there we have it. Grimlock is in his famed alternate mode of a mechanical Tyrannosaurus Rex. He at least has a little more articulation than his famed Generation 1 version a bit. I mean, we can still open the mouth and close it. The head can be raised to look up and down a bit. He's got full rotation at the shoulder for the dinosaur arms, and they do raise and lower a bit. And of course you can rotate his legs all the way around, and he even has bendable knees. And of course maybe we'll go with the classic Jurassic Park chase bit and see how well he does on that. Yeah, not bad. We even got him looking like he's actually ready to run. And then, of course, he's also got a hidden spot right here. That's more for Volcanicus. Looked like it was a spot where you could store the Enigma piece. So I guess for it, you would just put it inside one of these. And, of course, to make him an attack dinosaur, we just add the claws to the sides of his leg. And then there we go. Dinobots, charge! Alright, as a quick bonus here for everybody, we're going to show off how Grimlock will form the torso for Volcanicus. And of course we will start that by we open up his chest plate here, and we're going to fold the arms back. Or at least fold them to the sides, not totally to the back. We come down here and we're going to adjust the dinosaur legs so that they're sitting straight. Then we come down here and we straighten out the tail entirely. Then we'll separate this portion and bring it back up top, like so. Raise the arms out so that they are now pointing straight out to the sides. Then come over here and you're going to get the hands out. So we got both hands peeking out there like that. Then we'll rotate them at the joint so that the back protrusion here is pointing straight up. Like that. Then of course, now that that's done, we're going to bend them around we'll bend the arms around so that this portion right here will connect with this protrusion right there under the arm. Just like that. Just like that. Alright, once that's done, we come back here and we can fold the wings in so they're resting against the body. Come down here to the dinosaur tail and we're going to separate it. Fold up the tip of the tail. Then we're going to spread the robot legs a little bit because you're going to turn them at the thigh cut so that the tail pieces are facing each other. Then we'll come up here and we're going to grab this special piece and we're going to fold it downwards. Trying to adjust things here. It doesn't look like it has anything to hold it to, so just keep it going like that. Then we're going to come up here and we rotate Grimlock at his hip all the way around. And we're going to raise him up a bit here at his torso to get him stretched out. And then now, they seem to show, yes, you fold the body down like so, and lock the torso in onto the hip. Keep the dinosaur head facing down like that. Then we're going to come here and we'll open up these hatches. And we can use this to fold it down. And it will bring up Volcanicus's head. Just get the red piece in the back, brought back down, so that it has something to catch. And help hold Volcanicus's head in place. Get this piece back down and locked down tight. And then there we have it, folks. Grimlock is now ready to become the mighty Volcanicus. So now we get to my thoughts. What do I think of this? Well, Volcanicus was definitely an improved idea over the original idea that they had for the Dinobot Combiner. And of course that was a monstrosity known as the Beast, as they labeled in the comic book run, in one of the earlier comic book runs. So this gave them a chance to do something a little better, and look a little better as well. Right now I'm still on the fence about how Volcanicus will look overall, because at this point I have not built Volcanicus up yet. But the idea behind it does seem like an interesting opportunity, and the fans must have enjoyed it for Hasbro to want to do it again in such a short time. And of course do it in a different configuration than how he was originally. This is definitely an improved version of Grimlock over his Generation 1, in the sense that it has better articulation. But that also comes from nearly 40 years of better toy engineering. So definitely, if you missed out on the original Grimlock, and he is expensive to find on the market nowadays, this is definitely one to track down, if you can find one. Since this line was retired several years ago, he's probably just as difficult to find, but if you can find one at a reasonable price, I would suggest picking this one up. At any rate, that's my look at the Power of the Primes version of Grimlock. I hope you all enjoyed it. And please do remember that if you like the content we feature here on this channel, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.